Welcome to How Much Power, my new show, where I'm going to use this big battery and a solar panel to provide power to a bunch of things. And in those things, I'm going to show you how much power they use. So we can get an idea of how much power they use at that moment to run it all, and then how much power or how much energy they use over time. It's the difference between power and energy, and we're hopefully going to help you learn that throughout this show. So, for example, this battery holds 1 kilowatt hour of energy, which is 1,000 watt hours of energy. That's stored battery power. It's saying it can provide 1 kilowatt of power, that's instantaneous power. 1 kilowatt of power can be provided for 1 hour, making it 1 kilowatt hour. It can provide 1 kilowatt for 1 hour. There's a difference between them. I'd like everyone to learn that. And we're going to get into that quite in depth. Yes, there's a bunch of stuff connected here. No, I'm not going to talk about it right now. I'm going to focus on this thing at the moment because it's the hub and the central nervous system of all this that makes it all work. And we're going to do future episodes about individual things. And then we'll talk about those gadgets as well because, you know, it's got to be a gadget show too. So this is the number one gadget we're talking about. This is the Goal Zero Yeti 1000. As I said, it's 1,000 watt hours of stored energy. Actually, it's got some spec sheet thing in here, but we don't need to get that deep into it. While it's 1,000 watt hours of energy, the inverter, which is the AC outlets here, the inverter can actually provide 1,500 watts of power. That's 1.5 kilowatts of power. You can probably hear some breathing that might be happening. My dog is now watching me because he doesn't know what's up. He was heavy breathing, now he's not, but we'll see what happens there. Hopefully he doesn't know you all too much before he comes to say hi. You want to say hi? You gonna push the whole camera tripod thing? That'll be good. Let's tell what's happening. Randy, go elsewhere. You say hi later, okay? Back up a little bit. Thank you. Okay, sorry about that. Thank you for bearing with me because I have yet to start actually editing, which perhaps by doing a real show I'll start to do. And then we'll have to actually come back and do this episode again to start it all over again with a better recap of how the central nervous system works, because future episodes are going to be about the stuff and not about the thing. It'll be how much that stuff uses and not about the thing. So again, 1 kilowatt hour of stored energy in this battery, but an inverter that can provide 1.5 kilowatts of power at any given moment. And that means it can run, so 1.5 kilowatts of power, 1,500 watts, is what your typical standard house circuit can provide. One circuit of your house can provide that much power. So this thing is basically sized to provide a house circuit worth of power, which is sweet. And that's why I got it, because it's big enough and strong enough to run my car's charger, which you may have seen in an earlier video. And we'll probably touch on that again in a future video here as well. So yeah, it's kind of big scale there, but the battery is actually not that big when it comes to doing something like running a car, because my car's battery is 10 times the size. However, what you're going to learn is that there's a lot of things that you might think use more power that don't actually use all that much, or maybe things that you don't think use much power but actually use more. So this is really going to help us understand that. At the moment, as you can see, we're at 53% on this battery. We've been gaining 41% from this solar panel. This has all been solar powered. I'm not going to do anything but solar power, or well, let's say renewable power, because I might turn a hand crank or light a fire. I do have a thermoelectric generator. That'll be a fun future plan as well. Yeah, so this thing can provide just 12 volt DC out, a bunch of USB ports and some AC ports, and the solar in. And then it's also got this light. So actually the lighting for this video right now, the light from up there, is actually being powered by this port. When I turn that off, we lose light. Turn it back on though. Yeah, so as you can see, we currently are like getting 40 watts. We're losing 165, which is charging a bunch of different things, some big batteries and running the lights. And I was charging a laptop, but not anymore. Actually, at the moment though, this inverter, this thing here, this is powering my desk. There's a desk right there. This whole thing is currently running my main laptop, an external GPU enclosure, which I should do a video on. 2 external monitors, the keyboard, mouse, you know, all that, and the Wi-Fi. And it's connected to some other things like the Xbox, although that's off at the moment. So yeah, that all could be run, because we're only even using 170 watts, and this thing can do up to 1,500. So we're barely scratching the surface of what this is capable of at the moment, even when like powering a whole bunch of things, including something like my desk. But we'll talk about that more in depth about that in particular in the future. At the moment, mostly wanted to mention this battery, and again, 1 kilowatt hour of stored energy, 1.5 kilowatts of power that it can get out at any given moment. And well, and we're getting all this power from the sun for the most part, which it's late in the afternoon, getting 40 watts now. Normally peaks at 50, a little bit higher sometimes. And yeah, I might need to get more panels, especially if I want to do something like run my desk indefinitely. If I want to edit these videos using solar power, that'd be kind of fun. At the moment, I'd be doing it, but I can only do this for a period of time before I gotta switch back because we are losing power at this moment. Yeah, so that's my new show, How Much Power, where I hope to enlighten some people about the differences between power and energy as the world goes electric. Thanks for watching.